Bastard. Get off your mother-in-law. You despicable, heartless creature. Look at what you've done. Alan Dalton opened his eyes and saw his soon-to-be mother-in-law, Vera Chester, naked beneath him. Her body was covered in bruises. Her cheeks were flushed, and her once enchanting eyes were streaked with tears. There were bloody scratch marks on his chest from her fingernails. In the corner, his best friend, Flintshire, had a knife stuck in his chest, his eyes open. Alan was in utter shock and confused. Around him were cold, expressionless stares. Before he could speak, more than 30 armed men stormed in and arrested him. A news report, according to official sources, on the morning of September 12, 2021, the youngest champion marquis in Drostofia's history, Alan Dalton, assaulted his mother-in-law while drunk and murdered his subordinate, Flintshire. He has been stripped of his martial arts prowess and sentenced to life imprisonment in Prison Zero. 5 years later. Prison Zero. 7 bizarre individuals gathered around a handsome young man, in awe of him. Alan, your war god technique is at the 7th level now. You're ready to shake up the world. The leader of the 7, an old man, looked like a withered corpse, his entire body restrained. His lips didn't move, but Alan could hear the old man's voice thundering in his ears. You've mastered everything. If you want to save someone, not even the king of hell can take them. If you want someone dead, not even God can keep them alive. The second man, wearing a mask, was stitching up a dying rabbit with a needle. In a blink, the rabbit sprang to life and hopped away. Your skills are unmatched. With the dragon sword footwork I taught you, you can travel anywhere you please, said the third man, both legs missing, casually picking his nose. You've mastered the essence of the dragon fist. One punch from you is as powerful as a heavy battle mech. I'll pass my dragon ring on to you, too, said the fourth, a disheveled man missing both arms, chewing betel nut. You've become immune to all poisons. This is the Medicine King Codex, filled with prescriptions, elixirs, and even beauty formulas. From now on, you'll be every woman's best friend. The fifth, an elderly man oozing pus, spoke while chomping on an enormous centipede. These are 7 marriage contracts, each for a beauty. Whether you win their hearts depends on your skill, said the sixth man, pulling dirty cards from his grimy clothes and handing them out like shady business cards. This is the token of the Angel Team. With it, you can command every member of the Angel Team to fight for you. But if you want to get them in bed, that's up to your skills. The last person, a woman in rough clothes and a hood, spoke with a voice so melodious it captivated all who heard it. Thank you, masters, for these 5 years of training. Without you, I'd be nothing. I'll never forget what you've done for me. Alan bowed to the 7 strange mentors. He felt grateful. No matter what others thought of them, they had always treated him well. Though physically disabled, they were immensely powerful, having encountered setbacks that led to their current state. Enough chatter. Go out there and turn the world upside down. The scruffy man who lost his arms, who often boasted of his prowess, now had tears in his eyes. Damn it, who's cutting onions here? Indeed. If you don't become the strongest out there, don't call yourself our student. If anyone bullies you, come back, and we'll have your back. The woman's voice was choked with emotion. Yes. Alan stood, leaping with the force of a dragon, an overwhelming aura radiating from him. It's been 5 long years. He joined the army at age 18, joined the elite Dragon Fang squad at age 19, and became the squad leader 6 months later. At 21, he led 8,000 troops to wipe out 30,000 armored soldiers in the southwest, secured the border, and became the youngest champion marquis in history. But 5 years ago, on the day he returned in glory, his fiancée's family set him up. They poisoned him at the celebration banquet and tossed him onto Vera Chesta's bed. When he awoke, Vera's hair was disheveled, her clothes torn, her body bruised. His best friend, Flynn Shaw, was decapitated, and his knife was stuck in Flynn's chest. His future father-in-law, Brandon Moore, removed his martial arts foundation, and his fiancée tore up their engagement before his eyes. He was sentenced and thrown into prison before he even knew what hit him. During these 5 years, he swallowed his pride, trained like hell, and waited for a chance to uncover the truth and get revenge. Brandon, Vera, Pauline, you scoundrels could never imagine that Prison Zero housed 7 extraordinary experts. Nor could you imagine I have mastered all their supreme skills. Initially, the 7 mentors tormented him for amusement, yet his resilience won their respect, leading them to teach him their arts and heal his grievous wounds. The War God technique gave him unmatched inner power. Dragon Sword and Dragon Fist took his martial arts to unimaginable heights. He also learned medicine, formations, forging, and more. Each of the 7 was a legend in their own right, and now Alan was the sum of all their expertise. This young man has learned all our skills. The world is about to be turned upside down, the 7 mentors muttered after Alan left Prison Zero. But we must also prepare for the impending calamity. 3 days later, in Yunberg, at the Shaw Manor, Alan stood tall, his gaze intense. The once glorious Shaw Manor was now overrun with weeds and looked abandoned. Alan's face was clouded with shadows, his eyes somber. With Flynn gone, the Shaw family's fallen into ruin. He fought with me through thick and thin, and now this is all that's left of his family. I wonder how Daniela's been these last 5 years. Flynn's parents died young. He only had his sister. After Flynn was killed, I bet her life's been hell. Where is she now? Suddenly, a scream rang out. Alan's eyes narrowed, and he quickly strode toward the scream's source. AHH. No, don't come any closer, you beasts, get away. Daniela Shaw was huddled in a corner of the yard, her voice filled with anguish, tears streaming down her face. Her clothes were nothing but rags, barely covering her, and chains were wrapped around her like she was a dog. In front of her was a bowl of leftovers, reeking of rot and filth. Ha ha ha, the former heiress of the Shaw family, now kneeling like a dog before us, how delightful. Daniela, do you still think you're the heiress? Let me tell you, you're now a pet for Mr. Everett. Mr. Everett's wedding is about to begin. We're here to take you to be a guard dog at the entrance. A group of burly men in black looked down at Daniela with vicious intent, ready to tear her apart. The leader was Chris Everett, the Everett family's butler, eyes full of sleaze. Daniela slowly raised her head, showing a face covered in centipede-like scars, twisted and horrifying. I'd rather die. When I become a ghost, I'll make sure you bastards pay. Daniela cried out in rage. Her family was gone, and she had gone from a stunning heiress to a scarred outcast. Flynn, I miss you. I miss you. Tears flowed down her scarred cheeks. Ha, do you think you have a choice? Chris sneered and yanked hard on the chain around Daniela's neck, making her choke. Then, with a vicious grin, he ripped off what little remained of her clothes. You might be ugly now, but I'm into freaky stuff. Let's see what a fallen heiress tastes like.